Good morning, Year 4. Here is your computing lesson for Wednesday, the 25th of November. And today we are going to be learning to act as a data logger and share our readings. So last lesson, Mrs. Cross did the video and you were able to go back onto Excel. And we're going to be doing some more of this today as we can't use data loggers at home, but I promise you that when we are back in school, you will be using them again. So my first question to you is, what is a data logger? And what do you think they do? So there are a few pictures at the bottom of the screen there of some data loggers. Do you recognize any of them? Do you know what they do? If you don't at the moment, that's absolutely fine, because I can share this picture with you. Now, this is the picture of a data logger that we will use in school. Have you seen this one before? Potentially, I'm not quite sure. So a data logger is an electronic device that records data over time or in relation to a location. It either has a built-in instrument or a sensor on there. And the data loggers that we're going to be working with when we're back in school look like this. So this is the picture below. What kind of data do you think that we could record using them? What could we use around school? What kind of things could we record? Do you think it's going to record the amount of children in each class? Do you think it will record something different? Okay, so a data logger can record three main things, or our ones can anyway, and that can record sound, temperature, and light. And therefore, when we use them, we could answer questions like, how loud is it in the computer suite? And what we'd do is we'd use the device and we'd be able to use the sensor and walk around the room, and it would tell us how loud things are. We could also ask the question, how warm is the computer suite? Or how light is it in the computer suite? And even though we're not going to be using them in today's lesson while we're home learning, I'm still going to be asking you these questions today, but about your homes. And then when we are back at school, we will be recording them using the data loggers. Okay, so you're going to collect some more information independently today. So let's start with sound. Using Excel, I'd like you to write down the names of the rooms in your home. Living room, dining room, kitchen, bathroom, your bedroom, your parents' bedroom, things like that. And then for today, I'm going to ask you to create a scale. Now, when we use actual data loggers, we don't need to do this, but because you're going to act as a data logger today, you're going to need to come up with a scale, which is a numbered system, so you can rank the sound. I.e., is it number 1, is it silent in that room? Is it number 2, whispered sounds? Up to number 5, some noise, and up to 10, is it extremely loud? I wonder what's going on in your homes. And then I'd like you to go around your house into each of those rooms and give each room a score according to your scale, and you can even think of the reasons why. So I've had a go, and your data should look something like this. So on Excel, I've put the rooms on the left. So I've got living room, dining room or kitchen, my bedroom, your parents' bedroom, siblings' room, bathroom, and potentially a study. Now these will be different depending on the rooms that you have in your house. And then you can see over here that I have labeled how loud each room is. Now I've had to guesstimate my results a little bit, but hopefully you'll be able to do this with your scale. And you can see I've put the scale on the bottom. Now I haven't given every single number a description, but roughly you can see that silent is number 1 and extremely loud is number 10, and then you can go somewhere in the middle. And the reasons I've given are things like I've put number 5 with some noise because there might be a TV on in the living room, or number 8, which is between quite loud and extremely loud in the kitchen because the kettle was boiling at the time. And then I put a 0 for my bedroom because no one was in there. It was absolutely silent. Parents' room, parent was putting away clothes in the drawers, things like that. So you'll be able to create your data. Once you have collected your data, I'd like you then to show this information in a graph. And I know you were brilliant at this last week, but I'm just going to go through the steps to remind you. So what you have to do is you remember to click the left-hand button and to highlight your data. And you have to do this not including the reason because the graphs won't understand the writing. So I've just highlighted from the room to the bottom 6 so you can see all of my data in that table. Once you've done that, you need to go to Insert at the top left on the top bar from the menu, and you need to choose a chart to represent your data. Are you going to use a column, a line, a pie, a bar, an area, a scatter, or an other chart? Once you've then clicked it, it should bring you up the table at the side. So I have chosen a column graph and a line graph on here. And then you need to think about whether your chart makes it easy for your data to be read or if it's quite tricky. So I actually think out of the two I've chosen today, my column graph is definitely easier because you can see each individual bar and how loud it is in that room. And on the bottom one, the lines don't really help me see which room is better or which room is louder or which room is quieter as easily. Have a go at that one. And then once you've done that one, come back to this video. So pause it for now and go and have a go at that one for me. Okay, excellent. Hopefully yours will look a little bit like mine. We are then going to act like a data logger in a different way. So now that you've collected your information for sound, we're going to go have a go at doing the same for temperature and for light. So I've copied and pasted these instructions for you at the bottom, but I've changed it to temperature. So you're still going to use an Excel and write down the names of the rooms, but your scale is going to be slightly different because it's ranked in terms of temperature now. E.g., 1 would be freezing, 2 very cold, 5 warm, or 10 extremely hot. And you're going to do the same thing again. Your data might look similar to this. So I've done the same rooms in my house and how warm is each room, and then my reasons this time. The radiator's been on all morning in my living room, so it's quite warm in there. So it's in between quite hot and extremely hot. So I've put number 8 is quite hot in my living room. Then kitchen and dining room, I've put number 10. Maybe your parent has been cooking a hot lunch. Maybe it's really warm in there, and I've gone down. You will then do the exact same thing for light. And e.g., you'd go around and see whether it's pitch black, whether it's very dark in there, some light, or extremely light. What kind of reasons might you put for those? Why would it be pitch black in a room? Why would it be very dark or have some light or extremely light? And I haven't shown you a data that's mine this time because I think you will probably be able to have a think about those yourselves. Maybe it's pitch black because there are no lights on in the room, the curtains are still drawn, you have blackout blinds. Maybe there's some light in there because there's sun coming through the curtains in the window, but the light's not on. Maybe you've got the door open and there's light coming from another room. And maybe it's extremely light because the windows are open, the lights are all on, you've got a lamp in there, you've got your main light on, and you're going to have a go at doing those. It then just says, well done for acting as a data logger around your home for sharing your recordings today. I'd love to see a photo of your work today, and so would Mrs. Cross and Mrs. Plews, because you did brilliantly last week, and it's just having a go at your again today. I'm just going to stop sharing this video for now, because I'm just going to go onto my Excel document so you can see what it looks like on here. So here is my first one that I showed you just a moment ago. Oh, and I just need to make sure I can share that so you can see it as well. There you go, so hopefully you can see that now. You can see up here I've got my data for how loud is each room, and then I've got my graphs on the side, and it's really important to show this scale for what the numbers mean. And then I've just scrolled down and I've started on that bottom one I showed you, how warm is each room. And just remember that once you've got your data, you highlight it all with your left click button, go to insert at the top, and then you can choose. So I might choose a donut graph for now, and I'd pop it over there. Then once you're done, and I haven't done this like I explained in the video, you'd scroll down even more and you'd do that for your light. Now a trick, if you want to, what you can do is you can highlight all of the information here, and you can right click and press copy, and you can scroll all the way back down to your blank bit of your Excel document, and you can right click and paste. And this is what I did to save a little bit of time. So I can change the word warm here to light as each room. I'm going to obviously have to change my reasons on this one. And remember, I spoke about what reasons you could have in a minute. And then your scale. So we said the words like, is it pitch black? Is it very dark? think I used quite light, but if I've mistaken that one, you can have a go. Very light, and potentially extremely light. And then you've already got your information there that you just have to create your numbers again for your new scale and to have all your data then in one nice place. So you can see, you can scroll through at the top, how loud is each room, in the middle, how warm is each room, and then at the bottom, how light is each room. Okay, one final thing I'm going to show you, and I am going to hopefully share this with you, is what this would look like when we get back to school. So when we go to school and we actually use our data loggers, and I do apologise because I don't have one of these at home with me, we're going to be using the data logger and a website, a program called Sensor Lab. So I'm just going to share this with you now, because this will hopefully get you excited for when we get back to school and we do this. So at the moment on my screen, it's saying that no logger or sensor is found, and to please plug this in. Now, when we actually connect our data logger, this will record a graph for us, and it will show us exactly what's happening. Again, I can't show you too much about this now because I don't have the equipment here at home, but this will do everything for us. We won't need to create scales when we're back at school. We won't need to go around each room and give it a ranking system and then record our information. This will do it for us. So hopefully it's going to give you a bit of an insight today in what it means to log data in sound, light, and temperature. And I really, really look forward to coming back to school with you and having a go at this next week. A huge, huge well done for all of the lessons that you've been doing, but especially with computing, because it's quite tricky when we're at home and I can't share the resources with you. But I can't wait to see your photos and your evidence and see what you are getting up to. Well done again, and I will see you soon. Take care.